Hi, so this is AJ, and this is week 2 vlog for the leadership course. First question, as always, is from the readings and activities. The knowledge that I gained about myself was that I learned that I carry armor daily. I have a need for perfectionism, and I'm driven by the fear of failure. I work from scarcity, and I squander off opportunities for joy and recognition. I use self criticism as a form of self protection. I reward exhaustion. Um, these are all armors that I carry, so I didn't realize that they could be considered armors. And reading through the Dare to Lead book, it just was very eye opening. I was like, oh, I do that. I do that too. Oh, I can see how these things can be very toxic to leadership. Now, based on the reading, some things that I already knew, obviously, is that they were toxic traits to have. I knew that they weren't good and that they were unhealthy. Um, though I didn't realize how they could affect my leadership and how they could um, kind of skew how I wanted to be seen as a leader. This assignment from this week also helped me to put how I wanted to be seen as a leader in regards to vulnerability in words. So, something that I was really adamant about is that I wanted to be able to share my experiences with those who consider me their leader, and in hopes of by sharing and being vulnerable with some of my more difficult experiences that were relatable, that I could inspire others with my successes during those times and even my failures, because everything is not always successful. Some things are going to be failures, and they're going to help and shape and mold you just as much as the successes do. Um, I want vulnerability to look like being honest with those around me and just really acknowledging my own shortcomings. Um, and kind of carry over from week 1, just being able to ask everybody around me, no matter the perceived rank, for assistance and feedback, because the best way to be a good leader is to be able to grow from those around you, to be able to learn from everybody. One thing that my mom always taught me was you speak to everybody in the building, and you greet them the same, with the same energy, with the same smile. And I think that same sentiment goes for asking for feedback. If I'm a leader and I'm considered a leader in a space, I want to be able to ask those who may be above me, those who may be perceived under me, those who are perceived at the same level as me, for feedback. How can I grow? How can I be better? So that was something I've always known that I wanted to do. And I think that reading and learning more about vulnerability and the different armors has really helped me kind of hone that in. Um, in regards to tangible ways that my leadership can be redefined, I really love the way that Brene kind of reworked those armors to be more positive traits. So I hope to redefine my leadership this week as someone who leads with modeling. And so what that looks like for me is that I don't look for perfectionism in others, but I expect it in myself. And so I have to shift how I think and how I move in order to provide a good model for those who I plan to lead, because I can't expect them to not work from a perfectionism ideal if I have this ideal in my head and that's what I'm working from. They're going to follow my lead. In addition to that, I want to be able to celebrate my own milestones. So I'm really bad at celebrating my own milestones. Really bad. I don't like to be celebrated. I don't like attention. I don't like to be the center of attention. But I love to celebrate everybody else, and I love to celebrate everybody else's accomplishments. And so, leading by example, I have to be able to celebrate myself in order for me to expect others to celebrate themselves as well. So again, that modeling piece comes into play. Knowing my value is another big one. I think that I saw, and just I know that I'm good enough most times. and I know that I can put in the work to get things done, but being able to acknowledge my own value. And again, it goes back into that modeling piece for me, is being able to do the things that I expect of others. And a lot of times, the things that I expect from others have nothing to do with their external things, but more with internal. But how can I expect them to be doing these things when I'm not doing it myself? And when it comes to what I'm lacking, I think that the biggest thing is confidence. I think all of the armors that I wear are rooted back to self-confidence. And so working on my confidence so that I don't work from a place of perfectionism, so that I don't work from a place of fear of failure, so that I don't not know my value, so that I don't not celebrate myself and work from a place of scarcity. Like, the hustle is not always needed. Sometimes I can just do what needs to be done. And I think that building my confidence in myself will allow me to move with more grace for myself in these spaces as well. So that would be my professional development opportunity, is to work on my self-confidence when it comes to performance and my output. Excuse me. A way that I can do that is maybe self affirmations. So working on affirming myself and celebrating myself as much as I try to celebrate others, until it becomes something that's natural. Easier said than done for me, for sure, but an opportunity for development. To be successful in this journey, the most important person in this journey is me. And so I need to show up for me in order to be successful in this journey. I'm used to being praised by others, so it's not a lack of external praise. But even when I do get that external praise, I often downplay the praise, and kind of shy away from it. So learning to show up for myself as much as others show up for me, and as much as I try to show up for others, is going to be key to this. It's going to take some work, but yeah, I guess it's needed.